Hello.
It's Naomi and Jack.
It's Naomi. Oh, hello.
Oh, you can't leave me to wave on my own.
Hello.
No, that's too excited.
What the?
You can't be like this.
Hello.
We can't do it that way.
I'll wave less. Hello. It's Naomi and Jack, and welcome to our channel.
We did it.
46 takes later.
So, our first juicy video.
We eloped.
Well,
Sort of.
we had two weddings. We're here to talk to you a little bit about why we eloped and how people reacted.
So, just to start off with, we've been married about a month now.
Is it really?
Woo!
Oh my word, it's a month and 2 days. That's mad. Probably when this video will come out.
So yeah, we've been married a month, and when we got legally married, and it was just the two of us. No parents.
An elopement.
No mum, no father, no brother, no sister.
Nobody.
Nada.
Question one. Why did we elope?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many factors, they sort of all merge into one, but we'll try and separate them out a little bit. The first thing which had a considerable factor is my mum actually got remarried about a year before we did, and she and her husband Andrew, they wanted to elope, and basically my sister and I wouldn't let them because we wanted to go.
What are you looking at? You've never seen a hypocrite before?
So basically they had an elopement plus kids. So it was just them two, me and my sister, and then Andrew's two kids. And it was a really beautiful little wedding. And up until that point, I suppose I'd always thought about having quite a big wedding. Hadn't really thought about having a small one. But then after seeing their wedding, seeing how special it was and how it was just about them two, just about their love, I just thought it was really beautiful. And I think that somehow got into me and set me on a track to want a sort of a more intimate wedding. I didn't go straight for the elopement idea, but that affected it for sure.
So for me, I have always thought about marriage. Never thought about a wedding. I've never been to a traditional English wedding. And, you just get invited. Oh, I'm going to a party. Come to a party. And it's an African reception, do you know what I mean? So there's food, there's dancing. That's all I've ever been to. That's all I've ever known. So when Jack was telling me, and Jack's mother was telling me about their wedding, I just thought, yeah, that sounds really nice. So I also really like the intimate wedding, and I never dreamed of having this massive wedding. So that's why I really like the idea of having a small intimate wedding.
So then I suppose stage two then is when we started planning, we sort of thought we'd go for an intimate wedding, as we called it. So we sort of thought we'd have 30 to 40 guests, our immediate family, our closest friends, and just that was it, keep it short. And I suppose this was sort of like a compromise between getting the intimacy from an elopement, but also getting to celebrate with your friends and family. So that's the train that we went down. And we could do a whole nother video about the mess that was our wedding planning journey and how that didn't go to plan.
So many lost deposits is all I can say.
That money, gone.
Another factor that really, I think, for me, made me feel a lot more comfortable about eloping was the civil versus religious ceremony. Again, something we can go into detail about, but in England, you cannot have religious content at a civil ceremony. And I did not want to get married in any of the churches in my local constituency. I live in London. Jack said we're not getting married in London. So the only other places where we could legally get married in a church was near his house. But that church has bare graves, okay? And I'm like, I'm not going to be fighting zombies to get to my wedding day. I refuse, okay? You don't know what demon would just fume out of the grave. I was like, nope, it's not happening. And then near Jack's mum's house, to be fair, we did find a little cute place, but it just
still had some graveyards and it was still a bit pokey.
It just wasn't for me, and I'm like,
what we wanted, was
no,
it?
I wanted a nice outdoor wedding. God is everywhere.
Yeah, we really wanted to get married outside in nature. That was sort of our big driving force, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For both weddings, actually.
But my mother, being who she is, she said God must be there. It had to be religious somehow, some way. So we thought if we had the civil ceremony as our little elopement, and then a big religious wedding, that would be killing two birds with one stone. And
I think the reason that I was hesitant at the start to call it an elopement is because I feel like when you hear elopement, you think people are just running away and not doing a big wedding. They're just sort of having a little wedding in secret. But for us, it was a case of, I think we had a wedding of two halves rather than we had an elopement plus a party or something.
Yeah.
We definitely had, a civil ceremony wedding, which was just for the two of us. It was really close, really intimate, and really special. And we got to spend the day together because so many people, my parents, who have many marriages between them, and other people who gave us advice, they were kept saying, you know, your whole wedding day isn't about you. And you're like, well, why would you want that? So the elopement gave us the intimacy together, and it gave us the freedom to plan a bigger wedding than the one we had initially planned, invite more people that we wanted to, have a big party, and not worry about trying to fight to spend time with each other on the day. We just let it happen.
So, the question on your mind, how did they react?
Mm-hmm.
Let us spill the tea. I'm joking, there's not really that much tea to spill, if I'm honest. I told my close friends, a lot of them are from Asian backgrounds or Black, African, Caribbean backgrounds, and they were like, oh, well, yeah, everyone does this because it's just the norm.
Yeah, no one thought it was weird today.
Yeah.
In fact, Naomi's friend, who's getting married in August, is having 3 weddings. So we had one less than she did.
Exactly, because she's having a civil ceremony, court wedding, her African traditional wedding, and also her white wedding. Mm-hmm. So they were just like, shut up, it's nothing. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but then I think it's more sort of the concerns from my side of the family and friends who perhaps found it a little bit more unusual, because my friends and family are all white British people. Not all my friends, but a lot of them.
But actually, no, your friends were fine. Like,
actually,
they didn't really... I mean,
No.
I don't know, did they really think much of it?
No. I mean, to be honest, we didn't tell a lot of people. It was the sort of thing, to start with, we sort of kept it to ourselves, and then gradually we just decided to tell people who were close to us when it came up, when it was natural to do so. Well, we didn't really want it to be a big secret. And I think my mum was one of the first people that we told, especially given that she had just got married in a similar way. So she was understanding. My sister was understanding, who was one of the most important people to me to be understanding about it. So I think in the end, really, everyone was fine. I don't think anyone really felt cheated or anything. I don't know. That was a concern.
I guess right before the wedding, we did have some concerns where people felt like, you know, like, obviously people want to be there when you're saying I do. Mm-hmm. And without knowing how our big wedding was going to plan out, it almost feels like they weren't a part of our big day. And we had purposefully, you know, been mean to people to not allow them to come into our, you know, because no one knows how the big day is going to be. Is it going to be a real wedding? Are we going to be crying? Is the emotion going to be real?
Yeah, that's the thing that kept coming up, isn't it? I think there was some concern with people that what was the point of the big wedding that we were going to have if we were already married. And I think, in hindsight, having been there, I think people will now appreciate and realise that there were 2 very different things, but 2 parts of the same wedding. And it wasn't that we had one real wedding, one fake wedding, and all this kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I felt equally as excited on both days for different reasons and for the same reasons, you know.
I was terrified on the big day. I was like, oh my God.
The little one was easy, to be fair. And we'll go into we can do other videos, because like I said, we don't want to get too sidetracked. We'll do another video about feelings, about how we felt on the little, but on the small wedding and the big wedding and all that kind of thing. Yeah,
I think just some tips and advice, if you guys do want to go into this just really quickly, is just have really honest conversations with the people that need to know. Mm-hmm. And if you are ever going to do a small wedding and a big wedding, maybe just don't tell everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't need to make it into a bigger thing than it is. And I think that's a trap that we sort of started to fall into, even if it was in our own minds. Me particularly, I was very concerned about what other people were thinking, and I think I turned it into something bigger in my mind than other people did. I think, you know, everyone's different, everyone will have a different group of family and friends around them, but you've got to judge for yourself. Yeah. But, I mean, we loved the way that we did it, we have no regrets.
No regrets at all.
So we'll talk a bit more about that as well.
But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was entertaining and also helpful.
And as always, leave some comments down below for videos you want to see in the future, anything like that. Subscribe, click the bell.
And if you have any questions, if you're going through this, let us know about your story. Let us know about what happened when you eloped. Were your family okay with it? Mm-hmm. How did you do it? We're just as interested in your stories as we are about ours.
I'm more interested in their stories. We know our stories.
Yeah, we do know our story. We're interested in yours.
Okay. Bye.